I'm doing my persuasive essay on why seatbelts should not be optional. I know most of you probably think that it's a given that everyone should wear their seatbelts, but really I believe, and I'm going to stand here today and try to persuade you guys, that I do not think that it should be against the law to not wear a seatbelt. For some facts for you, motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death among people in the United States from the ages of 1 to 54, and more than 2.2 million adult drivers and passengers were treated with the emergency departments involved with the motor vehicle crashes. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of deaths. But who does this affect the most? Teenagers. You know, everyone's trying to drive, first between the ages of 16. Everyone's so excited. It's too cool to wear a seatbelt, but really they just need the proper education behind it. Young adults between the ages of 18 to 24 have the highest car crash related injury rates of all adults. Like I said before, teenagers. There's only so much you can do to try to educate the people about wearing and not wearing a seatbelt. But like I said before, this is about choices. The impact: seatbelts reduce serious car crash related injuries and deaths by at least half. Of the teens between the ages of 13 to 20 years that died in car crashes in 2012, approximately 55% of them were not wearing a seatbelt at that time. And typically, men are 10% less likely to wear seatbelts. I'm sure the girls are laughing. Now I want to talk about a little bit more about the laws. Usually in a lot of states, the primary law, enforcement law is, well, the definition is that police officers can pull a vehicle over and issue a ticket just because of the driver or passengers not wearing a seatbelt. Which means if the cop just sees you, he has the right to pull you over and give you a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. I do not think that is right, because you don't know how far you were driving. You don't know if you just pulled out. You don't know anything. You could be reaching for something. You don't. There's too many circumstances to go in that for someone to be charged with a ticket just for not wearing a seatbelt. There's so many factors, like the speed. How do you know how fast the car was going? Oh, sorry to get a little off topic. But and secondary offenses are where the police officer is only allowed to give you a ticket if he's already pulled you over for a crime. That so much I really don't have a problem for. It's not why I'm doing this, but it gives the police officer a right, and he can't just pull you over just for not seeing your seatbelt. He obviously already pulled you over for speeding, running a traffic light, running a stop sign, reckless driving, drunk driving. A lot of factors come into play. In 2013, 33 states did not have a primary enforcement laws covering all seating positions. And seatbelt use in 2010 was 89% in states with the primary enforcement laws, but only 80% in the states with secondary enforcement laws, or no seatbelt laws. Now, in my PowerPoint, I have a couple graphic videos to show the class if they are willing to pay attention to see them, or if they would like to see them. They are a little bit graphic, and you might see body, but it really sends an important message. the studies show, through a number of the different studies, is shown that who do not wear seatbelts when asked to wear a seatbelt drive more recklessly than what they were not wearing a seatbelt. So if someone that normally doesn't wear a seatbelt and you put a seatbelt on that person, you kind of just, their mindset is that they're protected, that they will actually not die or be seriously injured if they are in a crash because of them wearing a seatbelt. I mean, it's a mentality game for those who believe it, but it's psychological, I guess, and it's hard to explain, but I hope you guys understand. Through that study, it showed that those that were forced to wear a seatbelt, that they braked later, they were riding more closely to the cars in front of them, they were speeding and driving faster than what they normally do, and I believe that's because of the psychological impact on that. Alright, next slide, what seatbelts can control. I mean, there's so many factors about seatbelts that come into play that seatbelts are the only thing that can save lives. But it really depends on the age of population, the conditions of the roads, the speed at which people travel, and their affinity for drink. I believe that's for drunk driving. And this presentation, it's about the persuasiveness of why it should not be illegal to wear a seatbelt. For one good example is motorcycles. They're less stable, less visible than cars, and they're at high performance and speed capabilities. That person pretty much only wears a helmet. Maybe boots, maybe it's not likely for them to wear a full jacket, full riding suit that you see on TV like MotoGP of them racing. It's not like that. I've owned a motorcycle, so I know firsthand experience that you just want to jump on the bike. It's quick, easy, boom. You jump on it with casual clothes. I'll jump on it with gym shorts and a cutoff. But I wear a helmet. But the comparison between driving in a car and riding a motorcycle are two total, complete different things. You're protected in a car by a steel frame. If you even lay your bike down, just sliding, you don't even have to crash into somebody. More times than likely, you're going to be seriously injured. Compared to automobiles, the federal government estimates that per mile traveled in 2011, the number of deaths on motorcycles was over 30 times the number of cars. Why are not motorcycles? Why are motorcycles legal? Should be an age limit on that? Should seatbelts? And does the government really have to be that controlled over automobiles that they can't be controlled over motorcycles? It's the difference is unreal. That the government wants to control if you're wearing a seatbelt or not, but they can't control other things such as motorcycles. The seatbelt laws, they're different than traffic laws. They attempt to regulate the behavior of the individual that poses no danger to others, while traffic laws regulate the roads so harm won't come to other drivers. Because really, the difference is that the person who refuses to wear a seatbelt is only hurting themselves, which is very similar to what I just said as in motorcycles. It's their choice. It's their option for freedom. If they don't want to wear a full riding suit, or they want to speed, or if they want to commute to work in a little very unsafe motorcycle, that's their choice, and they should be allowed to do that. But the seatbelt, if people that refuse to wear seatbelts, they're really just harming themselves. But obviously, not wearing a seatbelt cannot cause an accident that I'm aware of. I've never heard of such a thing. If I'm not wearing a seatbelt, I can't. Again, I mean, if I cause an accident because I'm not wearing a seatbelt, that has no effect on the other drivers at all. Like I said, I believe that you should have the right to choose if you want to wear a seatbelt or not. It involves no danger to other passengers or drivers on the road if you have one on or not. It's your life, and I think you should not be forced to do something that you do not want to do. Thank you.